Switzerland. Just want to give a special mention to some of the sponsors of our event. We have Sport Line, Department of Communities, Algernon and Nollywood Council, Netball UK, Cookery Sports, Kingsbridge Private Hospital Group, the Galborn Group, Jaflor, JK Coaches, and J. Halley and Co Insurance. Obviously, specifically for our under-17s, it's ASL Roy, Matt Group, and William Wilson Accountants.
We need the clips.
Just want to remind our
Just come back to the beginning.
Yeah. Here on site, which is just located at the front entrance with Curious Candy. And we have the other caterers there that can offer you the likes of tea, coffee, soups, and sandwiches, and many more.
So strange.
Just at our entrance table, we're doing a bit of fundraising
so, we've got Wills, and then Gray and goal attack.
Grace Wills, Erin Gray.
So please make sure as you come in that you purchase your ducks. If you have any questions, please make sure you speak to any Netball and I staff member. Alright, Lisa, is that our front table? Alright, so please make sure you get there for half time and before then for your chug it up. Just want a special mention for some of our spectators in the crowd as well. We have our Lady and St. Pat's Primary School Warriors. Woo! We also have St. Joseph's College Belfast. We have Dominican College Belfast. Oh, you can do better than that. Dominican College Belfast. We have Strathern School up the back. And lastly, as you come in there, 5 Mile Town College Warriors. Alright, everyone's very welcome. So the next match will be kicking off at 10:45. Can I just remind all spectators that there's been no flash photography. Over to you, umpires.
So here we go. This is Northern Ireland Development versus Switzerland. I'm Anita Navin on commentary, and joining me is Elaine Rice. Elaine, you know a lot of the Northern Ireland Development, so what should we expect from this squad?
They probably underperformed yesterday, to be honest. Had a lot of learning. They played against a very tall, rangy, strong Republic of Ireland side, and they'll be looking to bounce back. There's quite a lot of talent, but they're very young. There's a lot of 14-year-olds in this team, you know, so expect that what we see now is not what we'll see in a couple of years from this group of girls.
And just to go through our umpires for this game, we've got Becky Scott and Rebecca McClellan, and our third official is Sonia Thompson. Coaches, you probably know the coach of the Northern Ireland development and probably know what her intentions are for all of these players. So managed to catch up with June yesterday, and she was just really excited to see how these players dealt with the competition.
June's big thing is learning. You know, that every time you take the court, you must learn. June is excellent with young people. You know, she really brings out the best in young players. Demands a lot, her and Maureen Cahers. They demand a lot, but in the best possible way. So she'll be demanding that they improve their performance from yesterday, which will be great. They've got off to a good start here, and they've got another turnover.
And there we see the coach of Switzerland, Vanessa McCurley-Naylor. So just takes a little bit of time for these teams to settle in. It's their first game, just get used to the court, get used to each other, and just I guess, get rid of those nerves, Elaine.
Yeah, you know, they are young. It's their first time, probably for a lot of them, playing on a court with only netball lines, for example. And it's just that bit daunting. We've quite a number of schools here today, so there's quite a hefty crowd, which adds to the pressure that the girls would feel under. I know that some of the girls that came on yesterday really had put a hand up for a start today. You know, so they'll be particularly pleased, and girls coming on from the bench today will be trying to do the same thing.
So Tatiana Manthos gets another chance to secure the goal, not able to put that ball in. And good pressure by the development circle defence. So that's Mia Law at goalkeeper and Amelie Annette at goal defence.
Amelie traditionally plays centre, so it'll be interesting to see how she comes out in goal defence. I do like her in goal defence. She's big, she's strong. You know, she uses her presence very well. She occasionally plays at a club, so it'll be good to see how she puts it out there. Great transition through the court at speed.
And good pick up there by Grace Wills. Goal scored, so much better through court by Northern Ireland Development. And as you said, probably not as pleased with the performance yesterday, so probably all good intentions to put that right today.
That's it. And Aoibhinn Donnelly there, they were a fantastic athlete. Aoibhinn is also on the Ireland under-16 basketball squad. Just dripping with athleticism. She was named yesterday as the player of the match for the development team, and there she is with her turnover. That's what Aoibhinn does.
So Chloe Elaine at centre for Switzerland, looking to offload link with shooter pairing, Martina Moralazovic and Tatiana Manthos. So Manthos secures a goal for Switzerland. Started much better, Elaine, the development group, compared to yesterday.
Yeah, it took a while to get going yesterday. They can produce much stronger than they have. In Northern Ireland, we're quite fortunate as we allow these girls to play up as a team in the top tier. So they're learning every week, and hopefully that can show in what they can put out. They're evenly matched in terms of size and physique, these teams, you know, so it really will be the team with the better understanding of each other and the better technical abilities that should prevail.
So just not able to hold the ball. Switzerland back on the attack, tight on that sideline, so just need to open up the court for themselves, split the defence of Northern Ireland.
It's an excellent intercept by Louisa Young of Belfast Ladies there. She read it very well, and she managed to balance despite it going towards the sideline and give a good ball off, which is quite difficult when the adrenaline's up and you've made such a good intercept. Scarlett Duncan showed up well yesterday in terms of her feeding of the circle. She's calm under pressure.
Much better work. Swing of the ball, split those Swiss defence, enabling Northern Ireland to get that ball in safely. And a good tip again. Great to see your attacking line just come through to try and get in front of the ball on the Swiss centre pass.
Both teams need to settle when they win possession. You know, there's plenty of possession to be won. It's just what we do with it then, and particularly that first ball after it. You know, that's so key. It was a lovely feed by Olang there. Looked in early, gave it in early, you know, probably directed the shooter where she wanted her to receive it. Quite a quick three.
Good pressure by Switzerland, so back on the attack.
Switzerland really crowded the area and did it very well there.
Just a bit more height needed on this shot from Manthos. Third time lucky, they put the ball in, so tight game on our hands.
Both these teams are really lacking any key, big, tall players. You know, there's a lot of players of approximately the same size, so it will be interesting to see how this plays out.
So Manthos just offloading the ball to Morozevich, and she puts the ball in.
It was a good decision. She looked confident under the post then. I know that Noeline Lennon had done a lot of work with the shooters of both squads, because it's something that we've recognised in Northern Ireland, that we need a lot of work, particularly with the underage, and a lot of these players came up to Noeline for 8 Fridays, and hopefully can reap benefits this weekend.
I was speaking to the captain yesterday, and she talked a lot about Noeline, about being a role model, so great that these young players can aspire and also be coached by an ex-international of Northern Ireland too.
Yeah, and then they also play against Noeline then on a Friday, and Noeline does her best to coach them through the game. You know, it's a good system that Noeline has put into place. Nice and patient there by Olang in the centre.
Oh, great pick-up. You soon notice Louisa Young on the court in terms of that wing defence position from Northern Ireland. Goes on the hunt, causes a little bit of chaos in the attack, and she's doing that in terms of the Swiss lineup. And this is where we probably just want to see them pull the ball and cross the ball, use the width of the court just to help Switzerland get that ball through the centre court area.
Takes a lot of experience to play to the width. You know, it's young players, and you see the ball, you go towards the ball, you've constantly been told to go towards the ball, and it's probably more experienced players that recognise that that's not where the space is, and it's possibly the team that comes out and learns that during this game fastest would prevail. I think Annette knew she had got away with one there and then offloaded as such.
So Mia Law with the throw-in for Northern Ireland's development, not able to secure it, so possession back with Switzerland. Looks like an offside call.
Feed, early feed You love to see that. You love players having the vision, and Scarlett Duncan knew what she was going to do with that ball. She picked it up.
Yep, when it's a 2-on-1, it's important that that ball ends up under the post where possible. So good screen on Grace Wills there, just stopping that goalkeeper getting near to Erin Gray. Good rebound. Switzerland go on the attack. Barrera and Themmel working hard in that defensive circle for Switzerland.
A combination of Young, Donnelly and Annette coming up with the ball again. In Northern Ireland, Anita, a lot of our players are dual athletes. They tend to play a second sport. It would be rare that somebody will just be a netballer. And you can see that maybe in some of the plays, between Gaelic football or basketball or football or hockey. The girls have definitely developed more game skills.
And do you think they transfer any principles of play from Gaelic football into netball?
Definitely. I played Gaelic football myself. It's a speed of thought, it's a spatial awareness, it's a physicality really. Helps with Gaelic football, and while the skills itself of the game aren't the same, the soft skills around decision making and speed of thought are all definitely transferable.
So holding the front position, Grace Wills on Clara Themmel, the goalkeeper from Switzerland. And strong arms over by Themmel, but a great shot from Grace Wills.
The Switzerland defence are working really hard, and to make the Northern Ireland players have to re-offer, and you feel that as the game goes on, that can definitely wear an attack down, that should reap dividends for them. Very accurate feed there, because there wasn't much margin for error. It was so close to the baseline, so they did very well to get it to her there.
So goal defence caught outside on the contact. This is the 2v1, and well worked by the shooter pairing there. Changed up what they did compared to last time. Good thinking from Grace Wills at shooter.
Great pressure, Aoibhinn Donnelly.
So a little bit of tidying up to do by the Switzerland coach, Vanessa McCurlane-Naylor. She'll be keen just to ensure that that possession's taken safely through to goal. I'm sure she'll be looking at just how they might create a few more options for the ball carrier and that width that we've talked about. And we've often seen the teams come out after that first quarter and play so much better after those early nerves and the settling that we talked about.
Just takes that moment, doesn't it? And maybe a word from the coach, the right word from the coach, can maybe give them one or two things to focus on.
Again, good change of direction. It's a subtle change of direction from Wills at goal shooter.
And that whole attack lacked what they got away with at that time, but they might want to be aware that adding the width will allow it to go safer through. Switzerland definitely putting more pressure now on the centre pass, and probably conscious of the time. Law will be disappointed, or Annette will be disappointed to give that one away.
So gets the penalty. And not able to put that one away. So it's end of the first quarter. It's 12 goals to Northern Ireland Development, 9 to Switzerland. So we'll take a few minutes break as the players do, and we'll see you back shortly for quarter two.
This is your last For Switzerland, we have Julia Bulgari to win defence and Abigail McDonald to win attack.
So welcome back for the second quarter. Just to report on some changes. Amelie Annett, the goal defence for Northern Ireland Development, goes to the bench. Louisa Young takes that position. Amelie Annett switches and is at wing defence. So just positional change for Northern Ireland Development. And Switzerland, new wing defence is Julia Bulgari, and wing attack is Annika MacDonald.
Good pressure there from Northern Ireland Development. They, cut down a lot of options. One of the Switzerland players needed to drive through to open up the space for someone else. Again, that comes with experience, which maybe we wouldn't expect at this age group.
And I guess these players being in the competition as the challenge event will then get to see the championship teams as well, and potentially through their observation learn as well. We'll see more width, we'll see probably more options available, and that is a great opportunity to learn from their peers, isn't it?
Yeah, I definitely think Northern Ireland are very fortunate to host this event. The idea that 24 Northern Ireland netballers, or it's actually 30 because each team has 3 reserves as well, have the opportunity to develop their skills, develop their learning. It's definitely a great experience. Nice strong hold and a good pass to it.
So the Switzerland defence just trying to close off the work of Grace Wills there. That was Clara Themmel at goalkeeper, recognising that she needs to try and just almost pin Wills to the goal line, the baseline, just to keep her out of play as much as possible, because she's been getting that forward space quite a lot in the first quarter.
Well, we talk about the lines are the best defenders on court. So if you can put the ball towards the line or put the player towards the line, then you're going to be winning more ball. Just came off the leg there of Aoibhinn Donlan. Well done to the goal defence. She read it very well, Barrera, and out of nowhere got a turnover for her team.
Good to see Northern Ireland Development getting their arms up earlier, trying to get over the ball, and see the work there of all the players in the mid-court. So a few more options available there, but it's that overhead when the defender is in front of the attackers for Switzerland that is proving to be that problem. So just trying to get in front, pull the defender away from where you want to receive the ball is important.
The minute both teams really are only having one offer to the ball, and really we need 2 strong offers. Sometimes people offer for the ball, maybe not with enough intent, so it's not deemed an offer. So ideally we'd have 2 strong offers in every ball, like they did coming out of defence there.
A good hand there from the goalkeeper, Themmel, just not able to keep possession, but good tip. She's sighting the ball coming in as early as she can and gets the call there. So chance for Switzerland, just not able to hold on. So intercept there by Aoibhinn Donnelly, centre.
A lovely 1-2 by Grace Willis, using Scarlett Duncan in attack, and the speed of the play meant that the Swiss couldn't catch up with it. It's the second interception for Amelie Annett in that same position. She's really growing into the game. Switzerland have an opportunity again through the good work of their goalkeeper, denying a whole lot of options for Grace Willis. I love when a shooter pops in front. Well timed. Good job, Crystal.
She's showing good court craft, Wills. I like her ability just to wait, hold, offer at the right time and really present herself strong for that ball carrier.
It's been a great start for the defence, Northern Ireland's defence in this quarter, because Switzerland haven't managed to score in 5 minutes. So they'll be very pleased with the effort. I know the coaches at the side will be really pleased with this.
Doing their best, Switzerland, to open up the court, find the space. And goal shooter holding a little bit higher in the circle there, which gave her the space behind to take that safer ball. So good play by Switzerland and Manthos at goal shooter.
It's their centre pass now, so they can build on what they've just achieved. Lovely confidence from the centre to put the ball in there. And there was no hesitation. She saw the space, and again she dictated to the shooter where to go.
So better pressure on the centre pass defence from Switzerland, gives them possession.
Mixing it up now, she's coming in front, showing a lot of her skills.
Just lost there on just the body angle, really, trying to close out that defender from creeping in, getting a hand to the ball. But good pressure again by Barrera.
The Switzerland defence are very ball hungry. You know that they're willing to put their bodies on the line. They're willing to put pressure. I see Erin Gray was pinned against the post there. You know, and that showed a lot of strength for the girl to do, because Erin herself's very strong. Louisa Young would need to get into the circle. Aoibhinn Donnelly's directing her to get in there. I really would like to see Switzerland create a 2-on-1, particularly with Louisa Young. Wouldn't be the tallest of circle defenders, although what she does make up for in height, she makes up for in tenacity.
So chance for Switzerland on that replayed ball there.
Manthos did almost 2 or 3 offers there, and kept a strong base the whole time. Great job. I actually feel Northern Ireland play a bit better when they use the backup on the centre pass. It seems to go through smoother, whereas it could call for 3 seconds when they look forward first.
Just opened up the court for them there, didn't it? Good passage of play through to goal.
Yeah. All from the strong drive of Annette and Young, but they need the space to be able to do that. And you know, it's a certain level of confidence required from the goal attack and wing attack to allow them the space to do it. Well held.
So Barrera on the take. Just needs a little bit more height on that shot.
Deserved a goal after that take.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Aoibhinn must have went offside a bit. Oh, she was been called to get her bed back on.
So Switzerland again on the attack. Just get a sense positionally, some of them just getting themselves out of position. We've got the goal attack just pushing a little bit high up the court, and it's all about that structure, isn't it? And just trying to keep your responsibility. And it looks like we've got certainly Martina at goal attack just really trying to move herself up to support, and then it leaves a gap in attack.
Yeah, when we do that, then someone has to come, and we lose our structures. She's taken the space maybe of the wing defence, who should be on that role.
Oh, great hands there from Aoibhinn Donnelly at centre for Northern Ireland.
I'd really like to see Erin Gray follow that shot in, and you know she is big and strong and she can win rebounds in there. You just nearly need to expect it.
So good reset by Switzerland on the transverse line, and we've got that characteristic hold there at the top of the circle by Themmel.
Mantino is not the tallest of shooters, and yet she's able to do that hold. You know, she's doing it very, very effectively. I know as a wing attacker centre, I wouldn't be too confident of giving that pass, but they obviously have a great trust in her. I know that she'll definitely hold on to it.
Grace Wills secures another. So we've got two strong shooters really. We've got Manthos at the Switzerland end, we've got Grace Wills predominantly holding shooters. Would you want to see a little bit more rotation maybe in the Switzerland attack, just to start to move the Northern Ireland defence a little bit?
Definitely. Neither of the shooters at either end is big enough really for the role they want to play if they were moving on to senior level. So ideally we would want them working more on their court craft and their footwork skills or agility in order to win ball coming towards the ball, like we saw the Gibraltar ones doing so well in the game before.
Cool as Grace Wills cannot fault the Switzerland defence. They're sighting, they know where the ball is going. It's just that extra step to get to the ball to try and actually force the error, as we see there. So some good work from Barrera and Themmel in defence for Switzerland.
I would like to see Aoibhinn Donnelly maybe using some of her fakes in order to get them off the body, you know, to help the shooter get a bit freer, given, as I say, there's no real height advantage to either team. You know, it's one way of opening up the space just a bit more.
Better front position from the Swiss on this attack. It's just that lofted ball that is getting read, and Donnelly's somebody who can really take those. She's got the elevation, she's good on that kind of back tracking and then going up in the air, almost getting a hand to that one too.
She just has that ability to keep going, even when the ball looks like it mightn't be one, she can seem to get a hand to it.
Miscommunication there gives Switzerland possession as we approach the final minute of the second quarter, and a chance for Switzerland to try and get a goal in this final minute.
Also, you know, they're playing the 4-15s. I know junior netball in Northern Ireland's 4-10s, you know, so there's quite a change for the players. I don't know about maybe the other home nations, how long are the matches in England, or Anita, are they at that age group, do you know?
Yeah, mainly playing 60 minutes, and I guess it's not just the 60 minutes in this competition, it's that quick recovery that's needed as well. And on one of the days, the teams have probably got 2 matches in some of these. So
yeah, I know Northern Ireland Development played last night, and then they've 2 games today, and 2 60-minute games when they're used to playing 40 minutes. You know that it can certainly take a toll, not just on the body, but on the decision-making processes, their handling. You know, certain things like that can start to come into play as fatigue sets in.
So almost the end. There we go. There's the buzzer for the end of the first half. It's Northern Ireland Development 23, Switzerland 17 as we go into the half-time break. And we'll come back with any changes and be ready for commentary after this period of time. So see you shortly for the second half.
so no changes for Northern Ireland.
So welcome back for the third quarter in the game in the challenge competition, Northern Ireland Development versus Switzerland. Northern Ireland Development in the lead so far, and some changes to report for you for Switzerland. Goalkeeper, we have Tessa Protopapa. Goal defence, Clara Themmel moving from the goalkeeper position. Wing defence, Carla Sands, and centre, Sophia Barrera. No changes for Northern Ireland, and I guess, Elaine, the coach is just happy letting these players work through for the Northern Ireland development squad.
Yeah, it's difficult to make a change whenever you're 6 up and things are going better than they did yesterday. You know, you were worried that such a change might derail everything. That's it. Switzerland's changes seem to have worked very well. Straight away went, scored a goal, and are now on the attack again, having gained a turnover.
So the ball went over a third by the Northern Ireland development, so giving Switzerland possession. And I wonder if these changes for Switzerland just might help them in their attack. And it is just that understanding between each of the players and the connections that they're really trying to get to grips with.
Yeah, you know, they're putting out a good enough performance. There's probably just occasionally something lacking, where a breakdown in communication or just leaves them a wee bit, as I say, lacking.
So a second chance there for Erin Gray, who puts away the goal for Northern Ireland.
Nice to see the players engage in a bit of conversation between themselves, with the goal tag maybe acknowledging that she may have caused that. You know, it was nice to see.
So we see Sophia Barrera. She's been in at goal defence, showing the versatility, and now taking the centre bib. So we've got a lot of versatility around lots of these squads, which is not a bad thing at this age group. Just experiencing different positions and being able to offer services across a number of positions can only be a strength.
Definitely. You learn so much more about the game when you play the other positions. So if you're the feeder who feeds the shooters, for example, then you learn how a shooter should move. If you're moving from the defensive circle to the shooting circle, definitely at this age group I would be all for it. You know, it would be rare really where we see in the senior game the same level of versatility, which is a bit of a pity really, because to me it makes the game so much more exciting if you can genuinely move positions. And I don't mean just within a court area, but like really across court areas.
So Wills again securing the goal, and it's on the Switzerland centre pass. So again, another chance for Northern Ireland to get another goal on the board.
Scarlett Duncan again, she knows when she's going to give the ball. You know, it's her confidence in giving it really helps her shooters out. And another great touch from Louisa Young. She's having a great game.
I've been impressed with the composure of Grace Wills at goal shooter. Yeah. She's got that calm head about her, which is always good to see on a shooter, isn't it? Switzerland doing all they can to disrupt the partnership of Wills and Gray in the circle, and away they go again on attack. Starting to use a bit more of the width of the court, recognise that that is important to pull the defence of Northern Ireland and just pull them apart, just try and create more gaps in that defensive line.
They actually have adapted really well from the start of the game too now, and doing that. Their coaches would definitely be pleased with the progress that they're seeing. Oh, that was unfortunate. She did a great leap to take that ball. She did so well. She must have moved her landing foot.
So Switzerland making more positional and substitution changes compared to Northern Ireland, and I guess that's sometimes trying to work out as a coach who your starting seven are, who's come to this competition and performing well, whereas Northern Ireland development, for them it is game 2, so Switzerland on game 1, this will be something that the coach will be working through.
Yeah, and then certain players match up well against certain individuals as well, you know. And I suppose that's the job of the coach, to recognise what you're doing. That was a bit of a fortunate feed, but it came off, and Grace Wallace, as you say, calm under pressure and just looks confident in turning to the post.
I always like that no change of expression on a shooter. Just gets the knock, absorbs the knock from a defender, just sights the goal, just nice composure.
It's something I've actually commented on in one of the English players and at senior level, where when it's going well, it's written all over her face. So that means when you know it's not going well, her facial expression changes, which gives the win to the defenders.
And I think that's important with coaches on the bench as well, when you're watching your players, and it's trying just to be composed, isn't it? Raging inside, but probably all sorts going on inside, but just showing that composure, that support, and that positivity is so important in body language.
I always thought I had a pretty standard face, but the girls have informed me I definitely don't. They said the new game was won when I sat back in my chair, which I wasn't aware I was doing. Maya Law getting a good hand there for the rebound. You know, it was a vital one, and she got the tap down to Louisa Young.
Got a lot of backspace available there, Erin Gray, just propping up on the defender, and something maybe for the Switzerland defence to look at, just to try and get their feet around, move around and start to try and stop that ball going into the backspace near the post and the shooter moving to post.
An excellent job of shutting down the attack and movement in Northern Ireland's centre passes. It's very, very effective.
Oh, great work, Switzerland. Carved their way through the gaps of the Northern Ireland defence.
I do feel the changes have worked for Switzerland this quarter so far as a draw, which shows that they've changed up how they play and what they're doing to shut Northern Ireland down as well, which is great. Strong drive by Annette, which really opened up the space. Really needed her at that time. It's another over the third one. You know, maybe we would like the goal attack and wing attack, maybe just to read that and come and take the ball in these situations.
And again, looking long, Switzerland finding the goal attack. Martina Mrazovic.
Just offside, she'd read it so well.
And Sophia Barrera bringing those defensive skills into the centre position. So started the game at goal defence, now at centre for Switzerland, doing what she can to disrupt the Northern Ireland attack.
She really has long arms, and she's putting a lot of pressure on Aoibhinn Donnelly in terms of her releasing the ball. So, you know, this change I really feel has been very effective for Switzerland. Quite comfortable in centre, doesn't she?
just not getting that ball high. Good transition onto defence, almost there, Switzerland.
Northern Ireland players maybe need to look at where they're releasing the ball from. I know it's quite a low release, which is causing some problems.
And I think 2 or 3 common themes already in these games is looking at just creating the width or using all the channels of the court just to help you as you take the ball through the mid-third. Equally trying to get in front of the defence as well. And I guess, like you say, Elaine, it's just the experience, it's exposure to different styles of play, more intensity in the competition, and it will come with experience.
The goal defence is doing a great job of cutting out Erin Gray's movement. She really has stopped her moving. It's really that's made a difference there also, you know, in their changes. Lovely fast feed.
Impressive so far, Grace Wills for Northern Ireland. She's been an offer available, presents herself well for the mid-quarters who bring that ball through to the circle edge.
Northern Ireland extending their lead slightly now. Be interesting to see if they can continue.
So Barrera, second time she's tried to get that ball from the second ball of the centre pass, the second phase as we might refer to it as. Switzerland come out with possession though, not giving up easily on this game.
Definitely not. I would like to see Grace Willis in that instance there, given a strong offer onto the post. Erin Gray was shooting from far out, possibly just beyond her range, and really needed the offer from Willis. You could see that Grace Willis herself wasn't too keen on taking that shot, but take it she did, and again it lifts the whole team.
Sets herself really nicely as well, so just takes that pre-shot routine, stands, you can see just that preparation, breathes out, good to watch.
Switzerland causing Northern Ireland problems getting the ball out of defence. You know, they're working really hard to deny all the movements. Northern Ireland having to go long to counteract it. Now we need more width.
The pressure put there by Protopapa, the goalkeeper.
Good strong rebound by Erin Gray under considerable amount of pressure, and she did well to get the ball. I feel that Northern Ireland have reacted to the changes that Switzerland made and have come up with answers to counteract them, which is good to see, as we talked about learning at this age group, you know, and it's learning through the 15 minutes as well as beyond that.
And we talked last night, sitting under the result will be some process goals, some goals that relate to the units that coaches can evaluate with players. So it might not be the win for Switzerland, but equally there'll be some positives, there'll be some significant improvements and maybe some small wins and gains along the way, which will help them just refocus for that next match.
Exactly that, and the first 5 minutes of the second half in particular, the first 10 minutes of the second half, where they showed how they reacted to the changes, how they settled after the changes. The players came on, had an impact, you know, and then what can we do next? And we take it a step further each time.
And that's a good hold there from Martina Mrazovic. And it rolls in for Switzerland, and the cowbells go in the crowd as we approach the final 15 seconds of the third quarter. So Switzerland need to be quick to transition to goal, to try and get a goal in before the whistle. Recognised that time was running down, just not able to secure that goal. So good third quarter performance by Switzerland. Definitely not hiding, really trying to regain possession off Northern Ireland. But impressive performance by the Northern Ireland development. And we'll take a short break and be back for the final quarter shortly. So welcome back to the final quarter. It's Northern Ireland development in possession and holding a lead so far against Switzerland. Scoreline, Northern Ireland 36, Switzerland 24. So some changes going into this final quarter for Northern Ireland Development. We see Amelie Annette go to goal defence, and we've also got Murray going on to wing defence, so Amy Murray comes onto court. Young goes to the bench. And some changes for Switzerland. Elaine to wing attack, Barrera back to goal defence, moving from centre. Harper coming on at goal shooter, MacDonald going to the bench, Manthos at goal attack, and we've also got Morozovic going to centre. So wholesale changes for this, the first game for Switzerland. We talked a lot about Northern Ireland Development being their second game, maybe coaches knowing their starting sevens and just not making as many changes, but Switzerland and Vanessa McCurlane-Naylor probably still in search of who's performing well, finding out that starting seven, Elaine.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Garnowen Centre, she played in the circle defence as well. You know, they do seem to cross over, trying to pick out their best seven. On court, regardless of the positions. It's a lovely feed. Looks quite natural in centre.
Is it something that players struggle with lots of changes, positional changes and substitutions in a game, or is it something that they learn to adjust to at this age? It's always a fine balance, isn't it, as a coach?
I would say probably our younger players are more willing to change and adaptable to change, given that they're all trying to earn a position, so they appreciate it. But sometimes, like I would be a huge in my own club, that you don't coach a team, you coach a squad, you know, and it's really, really important, particularly these younger girls, that they all move positions, they learn how everybody plays, so that you just don't get into a habit of playing with the 3 or 4 in your area, because then how do we adapt, how do we change it up?
And knowing each other's strengths when there are changes, knowing somebody's range on attack, what they can do in defence. And that strong communication of just helping each other with positioning is just something that helps you get into, I guess, get those connections, build the unit structure that coaches want to see.
Well, we become better players when we change and play with different people. At all times, I see Amy Murray now coming on court and wing defence. Amy's strong and very tenacious in her defence. She's a bit older than some of the other girls and will hopefully show some of that leadership then through the court. Emily would need to just run her feet there and that she could get her 2 hands on that ball. She has definitely got the ability to do it. We talk of dual athletes. Emily's actually a triple athlete. She plays Gaelic football for county and a camogie at county level as well, so she's a very busy young woman. As are her parents doing all the runs.
Taxis.
Yeah.
So Manthos holding strong there, secures the goal for Switzerland. It's a 12-goal margin. We'd probably say that was a difficult margin to actually really close down by Switzerland, but they'll be just edging their way forwards to try and win the quarter. There'll be targets that sit with the coaches, with the players for this quarter, so they'll just keep working, won't they?
Well, obviously the Northern Ireland bench don't feel it's comfortable enough yet, given that they have a second game today. They haven't made wholesale changes, they haven't rested players. You know, it would be interesting to see, maybe we've come up to this 10-minute mark now, they might consider bringing fresh legs on, given that the girls have another 60-minute match later on today.
Oh, good play again from Manthos, the goal attack for Switzerland.
She's a great player, she really is. Her timing's lovely, her movement towards the ball, she really helps her team out.
and just holds up against the defender well, just protects the space that she wants the ball in with a well-timed move, which is always something that we like to observe in an attacking player, particularly a shooter.
And Switzerland certainly haven't put their heads down. They're still competing as if it's 0-0 at the start of the game. Every player's doing their job and working really, really hard on and off the ball. She delayed. She knew that she was going to arrive too early. She delayed her movement in the circle to ensure that she had plenty of space.
Call goes against Switzerland. Northern Ireland back on the attack.
Three of the development squad actually come from one school now. So St Dominic's School in Belfast. They're doing a lot of hard work on their netball. And the centre, wing defence and goal defence all play together at school.
Would you say you've got a set number of schools in Northern Ireland then, in terms of the netballing schools, the ones that you look to for players coming through into the pathway squads for your selection?
Yes, but I would say with COVID, some of that, the guard has changed somewhat. I know that Wallace School in Lisburn did brilliant there in the schools finals and won a lot of the competitions. Northern Ireland, as you know, with our history, we can have hockey schools traditionally from the unionist background, or we could have Gaelic schools traditionally from the nationalist background. So netball seems to supersede that and comes to both sides, but not every school does netball. Because of the Gaelic games, we probably have more sports to choose from than maybe the rest of the UK. So it makes it a bit more difficult.
So at times you might lose players that eventually make the choice for Gaelic football or for one of the other sports, but that's inevitable really. So they can stay in the system, probably through to about this age group, then they need to choose, or under 19?
Well, I like to think that Caroline O'Hanlon and Niamh Woods and Michelle McGee even show that maybe you don't need to choose, and I think we don't have enough population to be too choosy and rule players out too young. We need to keep them as long as we can keep them, and if that means that they miss some training, or that's okay, because they're not at home lying. They're at another sport working really hard and getting all the gains from that. I would be a huge advocate of playing multiple sports, and I think somewhere along the line it says that you had to specialise young or had to specialise by a certain age. I think Caroline O'Hanlon shows you don't, and hopefully we see more of the likes of her coming through. When we went to the World Cup in 2011, we had hockey players, we had basketball players, we had Gaelic footballers, and I believe we were better as a consequence for it.
And for coaches, it's just the careful management of these players that are crossing multiple sports, not overtraining. That's the most important, and ensuring that they do get some recovery and rest in their training week and their education as well. Everything's adds pressure to their programme, so it's just that careful thought process and support that needs to go on between coaches.
Well, playing sport's fun, and if we don't allow them the opportunity to play as many sports and have as much fun as possible, then we're letting them down. And if it means they miss training, that's okay. We do look after them, we make sure that they're not too tired. That's a parent's role too, particularly at this age. And then as they get older, they have to be a bit more savvy about what they can do.
Switzerland just losing possession there. Northern Ireland looking to go on the attack.
With the game coming, closing out now, I definitely thought we might have seen some changes with the second game today. But the coaches have seemed to be prepared to see it out with more or less the same 7 that started the game with just Amy Murray added in.
And there we see the combination of Gray and Wills connecting well, shooter to shooter ball securely over to Wills, who just puts that ball away for Northern Ireland. We talked earlier, it is about just 2 offers at least for the attack, and when that stops, the defence really can get in and turn ball over. So probably some learning for Switzerland, just to think about multiple options for anyone, for the ball carrier. And when they do offer, and when there are multiple options, we've seen them really execute well and move that ball more safely to goal and be successful.
Ideally those offers would be staggered as well, so it's one offer then the second offer, so players can pick the best one. Unlucky Grace Willis trying to keep that ball in there.
So footwork call gives Northern Ireland possession. Oh, good pick up, good defence, getting the front position, Switzerland. And that's the work of Themel and Protopapa at goalkeeper. So some good, strong defensive pressure from Switzerland.
The Northern Ireland bench trying to get someone to call time at the far end there.
And you mentioned about the changes, so probably just giving squad members a chance and experience of the last few minutes in this final quarter.
See Lydia Grant and Aoibhinn Monaghan coming into goal attack and wing attack here. Lydia came on yesterday and made a big impact in their game against the Republic. Unfortunate, maybe we're over eager there. Aoibhinn has broken the centre pass. Aoibhinn's probably one of the smaller players on the squad, but she is so tenacious and a fantastic young player.
Again, good pick up by Switzerland. The defence just recognising being in front, just closing down that option and trying just to put the shooters near to the goal line. Just stops that option being available.
Great hands there by Amy Murray to turn that ball over. Well finished off by Grace. She's been very consistent throughout this game.
So a definite standout in performance terms today for Northern Ireland development is Grace Wills, the goal shooter. Equally being serviced well in terms of the mid-quarters.
Need a bit more movement off the ball here from Northern Ireland to free up the space. Aoibhinn Donnelly has come through. Aoibhinn Monaghan and Lydia Grant would play a lot of their club netball together, and the connections will be there.
You see that connection naturally, don't you? That players that know each other, know each other's range.
Nice fast back line there. Caught the Switzerland girls with their heads down, probably for the first time this game, because they've to put in such a huge shift.
Will probably be the last centre pass for Switzerland in the final seconds of this, the final quarter, and a great shot there just to finish on a positive for Switzerland. I'm sure coaches will be just looking at this performance, looking at the combinations, thinking about starting sevens for their second game. Lots of learning, lots of positives to take forwards, but for Northern Ireland development, an excellent performance. Elaine, you'll be really pleased with that as a Northern Ireland coach.
Yeah, they really bounced back so well from yesterday, and that you could see the learning taking part, which is what we want.
So that's all from us on commentary. We're moving into the championship in our next game, and that will be England versus the United Arab Emirates, and that start time is 12:30. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back for that game shortly.